Well, another day, another several dollars missing from your bank account because it's new comic book day. Let's talk about what's coming out so I can tell you what I'm getting. What's up, guys? BJ Kicks here. I buy comics, I read them, and I review them. All for your viewing pleasure, so if you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. On this channel, I do comic book unboxing, reviews, and haul videos, really everything in between. So if you're interested in that type of content, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. That way you're notified when new videos go live. This is the latest in a series I like to call What I'm Getting, where I take a look at what books are coming out, tell you what's on my pull list, what's on the chopping block, and what's on the maybe list that I'm making a game day decision on. And boy, are there a lot of books coming out this week. So we got to talk about them. Now, I always like to start with the book that I'm most excited for. But before I do, quick shout out to our channel sponsor, Ultimate Comics. They are the greatest place to buy single issue comic books in North Carolina, and not just single issues, toys, graphic novels, Funko Pops, all of them. They got 4 locations in the Raleigh area. And if you're not local to Raleigh, no worries. You can shop on their website at ultimatecomics.com or shop twice a week on their Facebook live show every Tuesday and Thursday night. So all the links and information is in the description below. But thank you so much to Ultimate Comics for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the books coming out this week. Like I said, it's a massive week, a lot of stuff coming out. Saga is coming back. I'm not reading that, but if you're a Saga fan, issue 55 has been like 4 years in the making or something like that. So definitely grab that. But yes, let's talk about the books that I am getting this week. And we're going to start that off with the one I'm most excited for. And that is, for bittersweet reasons, the Batman Catwoman special. #1. It's a one-shot issue. This is written by Tom King with art by the late John Paul Leon. Now, John Paul Leon, I'm most familiar with him as the original artist for Static. That's where he kind of got his start at Milestone Media. He since went on to do all sorts of stuff. I mean, the Marvel Earth X series. He's had work for Batman, for Superman. He did Batman Creature of the Night. So he's done a lot of stuff, but unfortunately, he sadly passed away late last year, or earlier last year. And this issue was in the works when he passed away. So this is going to be the last issue that he's done work on. I don't know how far he got. I know there are a lot of his friends, Bernard Chang included, who are pitching in on this issue to finish it up. But I expect it to be a beautiful story. It's a story centered on Catwoman and just how much Bruce Wayne has been involved in her life. But I imagine this will be a great tribute to the artist himself. So for that reason, it's the highest book on my list this week. It's got a cover price of $9.99. So definitely taking advantage of that premium format. And I hope it'll be a good issue, and I'm getting the cover A. Now, since we're talking about DC Comics, let's go ahead and get to the rest of the list. First up is Action Comics issue 1039. Now, if you're looking for an action-packed Superman story, this is the one for you. I know a lot of people don't like the Son of Kal-El series, which I love at the moment. But this is like your classic superheroics, high stakes, high action book. I've really been enjoying it. We're leading to some sort of exit of Superman of some sort. So we'll see how this goes. But issue 1039 is out this week with a cover price of $4.99. I'm getting the cover A. Next up is DC vs. Vampires issue #4. DC vs. Vampires was a concept originated by James Tynion, but it's actually being written by Matthew Rosenberg. And some of the dialogue, some of the jokes, you can kind of tell. And I really am enjoying it so far. The twist at the end of issue 3 was like, So I'm really wondering how many people are going to end up involved in this vampire conspiracy. How long it's going to take to figure out, who's who, and who's going to end up being a bad guy. I feel like Batman's going to be the bad guy at the end, but who knows? But I'm really excited about it. This has got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm getting cover A. Next up is a landmark issue, or at least, I don't know, it seems like DC just comes up with reasons to make something an anniversary issue and mark the price up a little bit. But this is Detective Comics issue 1050, written by Mariko Tamaki. This is the latest in the Shadows of the Bat miniseries, or mini event. It's been a weekly title since January 1st. So anyway, here we are, another issue of the Bat Family trying to get things together, and we're going to see how things go. But this one's got a cover price of $5.99 unless you get this cardstock variant by Lee Bermejo, which is the one I'm getting for an extra $1. There are a ton of variants, so check them out. I know some are store exclusives and whatnot, but check out which ones you want. I'm definitely getting this Lee Bermejo cover B, though. Now, next up is Flash, issue 778. Flash, gosh, I forgot the name of the writer. Jeremy Adams, I think. Jeremy Adams' Flash has been really good. We spent a lot of time kind of getting Wally West back to, square one. To being the person that most fans remember him being and love him for. And now that we've got him back centered with his family, all of a sudden we're sending him on this cosmic mystical adventure. And he's just trying to get back home to his family at the end of the day, but he's got to help face this magical threat. So last issue was really fun. It was one of those interactive spin the book around type stories. But I imagine that this issue, we're going to finally get into some conflict. And basically it's Flash versus the Justice League Dark. So I'm excited about that. It's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm getting cover A. Now, next up from DC Comics is Justice League issue number 71. Justice League written by Brian Michael Bendis. Bendis is leaving the Justice League title very soon. I don't know if he's leaving, but they're basically ending the Justice League title supposedly at issue 75. So now we're super invested. We weren't invested before. Now you gotta start reading it to figure out what's gonna happen to the Justice League. Perfect, DC. Perfect. That's got a cover price of $4.99, and I'm getting cover A. And next up is Robin, issue number 10. Speaking of Joshua Williamson, Robin has been a really good book. I'm loving the character development of Damian. I'm ready for this story arc to kind of wrap up or see what else they're going to do with it. But I've been enjoying it. And they are running straight at a Batman, Deathstroke, Robin big mini event. I'm not reading Deathstroke Inc., so hopefully it doesn't get too lost in the sauce. But that's what's happening. But we got a cover price on Robin of $3.99, and I'm getting cover A. And the last book on my DC Comics pull list from Milestone Media is Static Season 1, issue number 5. This is written by Vita Ayala with artwork by Nick Draper-Ivey. Now, this issue is the first issue that Nicholas Draper-Ivey is doing by himself. So I'm really excited to see, if he's working from layout to pencils to inks to colors. I'm curious to see exactly how it's going to look. I think one of the big draws to this series has been that anime and manga influenced style. So letting him loose, so to speak, especially since we're getting to the point in the story where all of the action is supposed to be happening, this should be a really exciting issue. I'm probably going to read this one first on Tuesday. That's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm getting the cover A. And that's it for my DC Comics pull list. Sheesh, as if that's not enough, I'm looking at $42 in my DC Comics spend. Now, thankfully, we had a couple of light weeks earlier in the year. So this week, in the month, which is also the year. But I was looking forward to this heavy week, and we planned for it a little bit. So no worries. It's not the end of the world, but let's move on to Marvel Comics and see how bad the damages are there. So first up from Marvel is The Amazing Spider-Man issue 87. We're still smack dab in this Beyond storyline. And I don't know if I need this book to be weekly, but here we are. It's got a cover price of $3.99. It's issue number 87. I'm getting cover A. I love this Black Cat and Captain America appearance. I'm excited to see exactly what's going on there. Now, next up is Black Panther issue number 3. Now, this is Legacy issue 200, so I believe it's an oversized issue. They're definitely celebrating. They're playing up the fact that this is the 200th issue of Black Panther. And Storm and the X-Men are making an appearance. I've actually been really enjoying this John Ridley Black Panther series, so I'm really excited about this book. It's got a cover price of $5.99. Definitely an oversized issue at that price. I'm getting cover A. And next up from Marvel Comics is Devil's Reign, issue number 3. The Daredevil event from Chip Zdarsky has been pretty good. I mean, it's basically like Civil War again. Kingpin's mayor. We got to figure out who's going to run against Kingpin, and it looks like Luke Cage is the chosen one. Which makes me really sad that we're not getting that Luke Cage miniseries by Ho-Che Anderson, but whatever. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited to see how they ramp up this whole political campaign and just how important Luke Cage ends up being to it all and how this war between the heroes and villains is going to shake out. But issue number 3 of Devil's Reign is out this week with a cover price of $4.99. I'm getting cover A. And next up, this is probably a book that I could skip, but I'm not going to skip it. This is Marauders Annual number 1. Now, Marauders did just end this past week, but we're getting a brand new creative team and a brand new Marauders team. And it looks like they're making their debut in this annual issue ahead of the relaunch and renumbered series starting in March. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this one, see what it's all about. Hopefully it's not a throwaway issue. It's got a cover price of $4.99. I'm getting cover A. And next up from Marvel Comics is the 10 Deaths of Wolverine number 1. So Wolverine's got a weekly event going on. Amazing Spider-Man's got a weekly book going on. Detective Comics is a weekly book right now. I don't know if I can do all these weekly titles. Someone's got to go. We got to figure out who's going to be on the chopping block. Probably Spider-Man. But for now, they're all safe. But 10 Lives of Wolverine, or 10 Deaths of Wolverine number 1 is a follow-up to 10 Lives of Wolverine number 1. So we're getting this Hoxpox style 2 series that are one. So 10 Lives of Wolverine, 10 Deaths of Wolverine. Omega Red is trying to kill Charles Xavier, and Wolverine's got to travel through time to stop that from happening. How is he traveling? We're not quite sure yet. Why does Omega Red want Charles dead so bad? We got some hints, but we're not quite sure yet. I'm excited to see how this series shakes out. And as we're time traveling, I'm excited to see what aspects of Wolverine's character get explored. So interesting enough series so far. Not knocking my socks off, but I'm excited about it because I'm a big Wolverine fan. It's got a cover price of $5.99. I'm getting cover A. And the last book on my Marvel pull list is X-Men issue number 7. Honestly, I was kind of surprised X-Men is still coming out. I just assumed that most of these X titles would be on hold while the 10 Lives and 10 Deaths event was going on. Obviously, I was wrong. But I've really been enjoying Jerry Duggan's X-Men so far. So I'm on board. I need to see how the news, well, they fixed that. So what can you say without spoiling the last issue? Last issue was really good. We get this appearance from this dude named Captain Krakoa. We find out he's somebody that we knew all along. And in this issue, we're going to figure out how that person actually came to be, and just why it needed to happen. So I'm excited about that. X-Men number 7's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm getting cover A. And that's my Marvel pull list. So if I just stick to the list, and my goodness, why would I not? I'm looking at $30 for my Marvel Comics this week. Sheesh. Sheesh, kicks. And we still got indie books to go on. Now, like I said, if you guys are interested in Saga by Brian K. Vaughan, Fiona Staples, I'm not grabbing it because I never read the original series, or the first 54 issues, I guess. And so it just doesn't make sense to buy that in single issues. But that is out this week. There's going to be a lot of hype behind it. So make sure you pre-order your copy with your LCS. But on my indie pull list, there's only 2 books. The first up is Gunslinger Spawn number 4, the only Spawn's Universe title that I'm actually caught up on. I'm really enjoying it. Like, it's just really fun. It's enjoyable. It's probably the best out of the 4 Spawn's Universe titles. It's got a cover price of $2.99. I'm getting cover A. And then next up is Stray Dogs Dog Days number 2. Now, Stray Dogs Dog Days, is it necessary? No. Is it a fun glimpse at some of the lives of these dogs from the original series? Yes. It is definitely like a nice addendum. If you didn't read Stray Dogs, I don't think you're going to get as much out of it, but this does give you a chance to jump in on that whole horror movie variant cover craze that took everything by storm last year. So definitely check that out. And if you read the original series or you're a fan of it, you'll probably want to check this out too. Issue number 2 is the last of the Stray Dogs Dog Days anthology. It's got a cover price of $4.99, and I'm getting the cover A. So my indie comics this week are just going to cost me $8 for a whopping grand total of $80. That's before taxes and before my 10% subscriber discount. I'm looking at something like 77 or something like that. So definitely didn't make my budget goal of $50, but some of the previous weeks where I was under budget helped out. I'll probably have to sell a book or something to make my budget for the month. But all's well that ends well. So what's on your pull list this week? I would love to see what made your list, what books you're holding out on, waiting for trades, and what you're just dying to read. So let me know in the comments below. If you're looking for the full list of comic releases, because I don't talk about every book, but you can visit comicsaredope.com right now, and you'll see the full list of this week's releases ahead of Wednesday. And then make sure you join the newsletter. That way you get my FOC picks and what my top picks for speculators and for readers are this week. Now, if you want to talk comics with me all the time, look in the description below and join the K Squad. You can join on Facebook or Discord. That gets you eligible or makes you eligible for night's prize packs and things like that. But I'll see you in another video very soon. I hope you saw something you liked in this one. And if not, hey, that's cool. You can always buy what you like. Just make sure you read what you buy and be nice to others, because kindness makes the world go round. Peace.